Okay, we are now live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the August 17th meeting of the Asheville Transit Committee. We're meeting virtual today. Again, we had planned to meet in person, but with new COVID situation, we went back to virtual. So it's a bummer we didn't get to see everyone in person today, but I thank you all for being here. And I hope that everyone is warm and safe and dry. Going to go ahead and call roll. I'm a little concerned that we do not have a quorum today. My name is Rochelle Sorensen Cox, and I'm the chair of this committee. Brandon Oliver. Kyle Sherrard let me know that he is unable to make it today. He had a trial. Harvey Harold.
Here.
Thanks, Harvey. Jeff Jones is still listed on the agenda, but as we all know, he is doing some important mission work down in Mexico or Texas. Anyway, he's doing good work down at the border, so we certainly miss him. Georgia Burtz. Darn it. John Bissoni.
Present.
Thanks for being here, John. John Hahn. All right, and we have a guest with us today. Will you just quickly introduce yourself, Sandy?
My name is Sandy Aldridge. I have been a rider on the bus, city buses of Asheville, for approximately 6 years. And I've applied to be on the committee. I believe that my insight, my passion for the community of Asheville concerning bus riding will be an asset to the committee.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to be here. We are a volunteer organization, so we always love it when new volunteers are willing to give their time and energy and expertise to this effort. So thank you, and we'll talk to you a little bit more further on in the agenda. I'd like city staff and art staff to take a moment to introduce themselves right now, please.
Good afternoon. This is Eunice. I'm the transit planning manager. Thank you.
And this is Haley Burton, the transit projects coordinator.
And my name is Amy Tessner, and I'm the administrative assistant.
This is LaShawn Abraham, RATP Dev, Director of Operations.
And I think that concludes everyone who's on the meeting today. It does not appear that we have a quorum, so we are going to be unable to vote on any matters today, but we'll go ahead and proceed with the meeting and just not take any votes. Again, thanks to you, those of you who were able to make it. And I think if there was ever a time to advocate and advertise the seats on this committee, now is it. So let's all try to bring a friend to the next meeting. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and I guess I've already called it to order. So the minutes are attached. We're going to be unable to vote on those. So I guess we just move on. Maybe someone who's more familiar with procedure. Harvey, yes, sir.
One thing that I don't think we did last meeting, we need to start reading the welcome announcement. Do you have that paper?
I do not, and I apologize for that. That's an error on my part. I will certainly have it for next time.
Need to get with staff so they can get that to you.
Yes, sir. I sir will, and I. Looks like we have
Brandon.
Hey, Brandon. Hey, Brandon, you're muted.
Sorry. Hello, everyone.
That's
I'm all
okay.
over the place today.
Hello. Well, thank you for including this in your list of places. We appreciate you and your time.
I appreciate you all having me.
In Kyle's absence, is there anyone who would be willing to step up and take some notes today? Okay, I'll review the meeting and try and put those together afterward. I'm sure that will be fine.
Yeah, my qualifications fall short. I would, but I don't think I'll get everything in as far as taking the minutes of the meeting.
No pressure, Harvey. No is a completely acceptable answer. Thank you. Looks like we have another guest. Councilwoman Roney, welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, again, Harvey, thank you so much for mentioning the welcome announcement. I will do better next month and have that available to read. And I apologize for not having that
okay.
formal welcome announcement. Harvey, are you sure you don't want to be president of this committee? Because you certainly seem to be more qualified than.
Quit smiling, Kim. You too, Sandy. Let's get on with the meeting.
Wait, that's 3 smiles. If we take smile votes, Harvey, come on now. Okay, so the review and approval of the agenda. Again, we don't have a quorum, so we're just going to keep pushing through in the Ashland Transit way.
I
Whoa.
Oh, I think we do have a quorum, don't we?
John,
We
Brandon.
only needed 4 members here today.
And we have John, Harvey, Brandon, and myself. We did it. Okay. So let's back up then. A review of the minutes. The minutes are attached. Do we have any amendments to the July minutes? Do I have a motion to accept these minutes?
I move that we accept the minutes.
Can I get a second?
I will second.
Thanks, John. All right, let's go ahead and vote. John,
Aye.
Harvey,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
and my vote is aye. So the minutes are approved. Thank you so much. I guess you've all had a moment to review the agenda, an opportunity to review the agenda. Can we also get a motion to approve today's agenda, please?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you.
I second it.
Thank you. And now we'll take a vote. John Bassoni,
Aye.
Harvey Harold,
Aye.
Brandon Oliver.
Aye.
I also vote aye. So the agenda is approved. Explanation of public comment, standards and opportunities. It's my understanding that we don't have any public comment. Public comment has been virtual and is available up until, I believe, the day before the meeting. This is another area of opportunity for us, and certainly an opportunity for our neighbors and friends and fellow bus riders to weigh in. And so I know that there are things out there that people would like to say. And so I just hope we can, in the future, maybe promote and advocate for more of our neighbors to speak up. So now public comment, we didn't have any today, so we'll move on. Old business and an update on the bus head signs, and the digital signage. Haley, are you going to take that?
Oh, I am going to take that. Sorry, my mic was off. So you all brought up last time about some of the internal head signs on the buses, sometimes either not showing or showing incorrectly. So RATP Dev has sent out a survey to all their drivers. So they're making note of any issues as they're driving, with as far as the announcements and also with the head signs not working properly. And we have reached out to our contractor who helps us to make those changes. So those changes have not been made yet, but we are working on it. And as far as the second piece of this, the digital signage, as you all know, we recently installed some new digital signage at the ART Transit Station, and some of those were continuing to show incorrect information. I went out there last week after having worked with the contractor, and I think all but one are showing correctly. There's one where I think it was the S2 is still showing up in a wrong spot, but I've reached out to them and they're going to fix it. And there are two of the push buttons that announce the next available buses that have low volume, and they are coming out this week to fix that issue as well. Oh, you're on mute, Michelle.
Thank you so much for the quick response. I think it really installs confidence in this team, and that we all are working together when issues are brought up and then action is taken. So on behalf of the team and ridership, I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you. So just to follow up on the efforts regarding the transit committee information on the buses, there was going to be a marketing campaign, for lack of better words, to promote and encourage membership. Can you all give us an update on that, please?
Hi, Rachel. This is Eunice. Just wanted to report back and let you know that we worked with our TPDEF to display those posters on the buses, so they should reflect accordingly with posters or flyers in English, Spanish, and also Russian.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Are there other opportunities for promotion of this? I'm wondering.
This is a terribly set up room. Sorry. We reached out to some of the organizations that we work with. So we reached out to Justice Economics and Butter Buses together. A few other groups as well that are escaping me at the moment, but we passed on the information that there were vacancies and asked them to put them out to their circles. I don't know if we've gotten any leads from that directly, but we're definitely open to other ideas. We also updated our website to make it a little bit more obvious that those positions are filled and make the application easier to find.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Roney, I understand that you've done some pretty extensive inquiries around this time and accessibility and people's ability to serve on a committee like this.
Yes, we talked about that last time, but there's almost an entirely new transit committee. So while Wednesday mornings might have been a good time for a previous iteration of this group, I would recommend a fresh survey to see what times and days could be good for this group of people and for our staff.
I like that. And is there an action plan to gather that? Is that something you would like me to take the lead on?
So I'm happy to show you how a doodle poll could be used to gather that information. It could also be useful for a secretarial role.
I love that. And in terms of secretarial roles, I will forward you an email from Kyle Sherrard, who is an acting assistant district attorney with the city and our current secretary, who anticipates his caseload being such that he's really warning us that a step down and off this committee is probably happening. So we need to brace ourselves for that and then really push for some new members. So thank you for that insight. And I will make a note to follow up with you, Councilwoman Roney. Thank you so much.
Rochelle, is there anything from the city side anywhere else you would like us to advertise this that we're not already?
I think you're doing it. Harvey, do you have a comment or question?
Yes. Last week I was on the S1. I was on the N.
Harvey, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
I was on the S1 and the N bus. As far as the advertisement for people join the transit committee, the signage wasn't there. I saw some Spanish, and I was thinking that was advertising the transit committee, but I don't know whether the signage is being put on the bus. I know staff put it out, but it's not getting where I'm sitting in the front of the bus and I'm looking at the rest of the inside of the bus, and I don't see any signage advertising for transit committee members. Either it fell down or whatever. So a lot of times the signage does fall down. Somebody opens the window and it flies down, and after that it gets thrown away or whatever. But it needs to be maintained that we are advertising for members on the transit committee, but I didn't see any signs.
LaShawn, is that something you'd be comfortable or willing to address or provide insight on?
When was that, Harvey?
Saturday and one other day this week. I think it was about Tuesday.
Okay, I'll have to take a look into that.
Okay, I appreciate it.
So a thought just occurred to me that there's a cork board, like a community board in almost every Ingalls. I'm wondering if that could be an opportunity, just a community message board like at the Ingalls, and I would be happy to help get them to some of them. Are there any thoughts and feelings?
Is that something you would be able to print off yourself?
No.
You, or do you need us to give it to you?
Yeah, but I would be happy to come downtown and get them, and then, do a little riding around. I would be doing that by bus, so I'd need to, do it in manageable handfuls, but I'm happy to help with that effort. So Haley, I will make a note to follow up with you on that, if that's comfortable for you. Great, thank you. I appreciate the creativity of this team.
Rachel, this is Eunice. I was going to say that we could also coordinate with the folks in neighborhood staff that work with all the various neighborhood associations and see what we could do to get the word out in terms of residents in those neighborhoods that could be interested in serving as members on the committee.
I like it. And again, I applaud the creativity and the willingness to try new things for this group. Thank you. And if everyone's comfortable, we'll move on to some new business. NCATT Technology Assistance.
All right, we thought we'd start out with some good news today. So this Ncat, it stands for I had to write it down because I don't want to memorize, but the National Center for Applied Transit Technology. This is actually where Marcella went to work after she left the position that I'm now in. But so Ncat works basically as a resource for local agencies who are trying to look for technology solutions within their transit system. And they had put out a request for applications for a technology assistance program that they have. And we had applied, and we recently found out that we were accepted. So we're going to be working with them going forward. We're not getting money, but we're getting assistance, and we're going to look into the feasibility for a mobile fare payment system for the city. And so the way we wrote our application is that Ncat would help us identify a good product, basically a good app that we could do this with, and then think of what a pilot program for the city might look like to integrate the mobile pass. So, yay!
Yeah, yay! And it's exciting for me that we're still, keeping Marcella in.
I know.
She's missed for sure. Great. Well, thank you. And now for an update on the October changes, the service changes, just an update on how that's going.
Yeah, so you all are going to get sick of my voice, but I have a quick presentation just so I don't forget anything. But are you able to see my screen right now? So this is an update on the upcoming October 31st transit service changes. Just a review of the main changes that we're looking at. We're looking at extended service hours on all routes. For some routes, that's going to be extended until 10 p.m. For some routes, it's midnight or even later. And those hours are based on recommendations in the Transit Master Plan. We're also making on-time performance improvements for certain routes. For routes that were performing, I believe it was less than 72% for OTP. And what that means is that we're tweaking the timetable for when the schedule says they're arriving at certain stops, and when they're performing either late or early. We're also looking at increased frequency on the S3 and the S6. Right now they come every 90 minutes, and they're going to likely be increased to every 45 minutes. We're also, as part of the upcoming service changes, looking at a bus stop consolidations for increased efficiency. So some of our bus stops historically are very close together, and we're just looking at places within the city that we can consolidate those routes so that we can increase, again, the on-time performance, and also so that we can kind of be able to put resources towards fewer stops and have better amenities for people waiting as well. And then this is a new item, this as part of our service changes. So something that came up as we've been working with on-time performance and looking at making some changes to the We2 is what to do with the Social Security Administration stop. And I can discuss it further in a minute, but we're just considering different options for how to best serve that stop. So far, we've made test runs for all the routes with updated time points to make sure that what are the software that we use, and it makes recommendations for certain time points, and we wanted to test those in the real world and make sure that those were time points that we're comfortable with. We've also made site visits to all the stops that are being considered for consolidation, and we've updated timetables that can now be reviewed by RETP Dev, and we can take to their bus operators. We also, as part of this, have done some outreach to the Grove Park Inn regarding the N5 extended service hours. The N5 has fairly low ridership. I think it's about 1,500 per month. But we wanted to make sure that we are extending the hours at a time that makes sense especially for employees at the Grove Park Inn. So we reached out to the Grove Park Inn to see when shifts are typically ending, and they said one of their most popular ending times is at 11 p.m. The TMP recommendation was only for 10 p.m. So this is something that we're still having conversations about, and we would like feedback from you all about 10 p.m. versus 11 p.m. So we also sent out a survey to the employees at the Grove Park Inn, and there was 8 responses. I will say that all of the responses were taken directly one after another, like to the second. So that might be a sign that it could just be one person who is taking that. But based on the results of that service, they did say that they were more likely to continue using the service if it was until 10 p.m., but they were even more likely if it was extended till 11 p.m. So a case could be made for extending the hours until 11 p.m. if that's when people are getting off of work and that's who we want to be serving. On the other hand, we need to think a little realistically about the cost of doing so if it's only going to be serving a few people. And I'm not advocating one way or the other. That's just something that we would, I think, appreciate feedback on from you all. But actually, before we move on, can we just stop here and have a little discussion about this N5 issue? I'm curious if anyone has any thoughts, and if I'm explaining it clearly, what the choice is here.
Harvey?
Yes. I understand the changes you're talking about doing. I'm all aboard with the S3 and the S6 extending the hours. Have y'all considered the fact of a moneymaker, the WE1 going to Walmart? Because at the present time, the people that they're hiring like the second shift, they've been doing this. So it's like from 2 to 10 or 2 to 11, 1. But have y'all thought about extending that route, the hours, the W1
the hours.
Walmart on Bleachery?
So we're extending the hours on all routes. So I can't, without getting out of this, let's see.
I saw the 10 and the 12, but I didn't. There you go. I can't read that.
So the W1 is going to be extended until it'll leave from the art station at 12 a.m. at midnight. So we are extending that 1 hour. Does that address your question?
So is that the last bus that will run 12 a.m.?
Yes.
And when will that be?
When would this go into effect?
Yes, or you don't know?
With the October 31st. All these changes would go with October 31st. So yeah, every single route that we currently operate is going to be extended. Exactly when those hours are extended varies per route. And we felt pretty comfortable with the decisions for the other routes, but this N5 route in particular, we're hoping for some feedback as to whether we should only extend it till 10, which is what's recommended in the TMP, or if we should consider extending it until 11 p.m., which is when people are getting off of their shift. But it's not the route's not currently highly used or trafficked. So those are kind of the trade-offs we're working with.
Yeah, I thank you for that, Haley, because over the years, I've always heard people say, well, whatever you want, the E1 would extend their hours, I could work, and things like that. But that's exactly what I was looking for.
Good. I
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the same thing would be true for the Grove Park Inn. Like, is ridership low because it doesn't serve, they can't get home on the bus. It's one thing to get to work on the bus, but if you can't also get home, then that's stressful. And So it's one of those chicken and egg, ongoing transit issues about, is ridership low because it's not service, and if we build it, will they come? As for me, I certainly would like more employers to promote bus use with their employees. One of the benefits that I enjoyed as an employee of Tops for Shoes is that because they paid for employees who drove for their parking, they also paid for my bus pass every month, which was a great benefit to me. And so I personally love it when a business can get behind and adjust shifts and make bus use a viable way for folks to get to work. One of the most stressful questions on a job application for a person without their own vehicle is, do you have reliable transportation to work? And if you ride the city bus, you should absolutely, in all confidence, be able to say, yes, I sure can absolutely get to work. I've mentioned this before, but when the gas crisis happened, as a bus rider, I didn't worry. I wasn't stressed out. I got to work, and many of my car riding coworkers were unable to. So I think the more we can promote bus use and get employers behind it, that's huge. If it's seen as a handicap, which it honestly is, that's just a really a public service issue maybe, or I don't know, it's a feeling thing, but does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. We'll continue to talk with Grove Parking as well. We can only do so much to advocate for them advocating it, but
yeah, of course. Well, I appreciate you doing it. Yes, John.
So I ran restaurants for a long time, and I know that there are a lot of people that do rely on the bus. In Asheville, places like the Grove Park and the Biltmore, they're very seasonal, number one. So I think that you have to expect that certain times of the year the buses could be full, and other times of the year that they won't. So in the leaf season all the way through like the beginning of the year, it's very busy, right? And this time of year, it's going to be a little bit slower. But when you're hiring people, if they don't have transportation to work, it becomes very difficult for both the employer and the employee. And I know that 11 p.m. is a very common time for people that are getting out that have worked the dinner shift, right? Which is the busiest time. So I would advocate for extending it to 11 p.m. because if somebody has to wait a little bit longer to catch a bus home, to me, that's better than not having any transportation at all when you get out at 11, right? That's what I think. I mean, and the other thing to consider is too, we're also experiencing, we're living in this pandemic world. So, there may be less people riding right now just because of COVID. So we need to take that into consideration as well when we say that the route's not very highly used. So I guess that's my 2 cents.
Well, I think that's valuable insight, and thank you for sharing.
Did anybody else have any comments before I move on? All right. Well, thank you for your feedback on that. And yeah, this may be something where maybe we try it at 11, and then if no one's riding, we bring it back to 10 p.m. But we'll definitely take your comments into consideration. So thank you. And then, so coming back to what we've done so far in implementing these October service changes, we've also began to work on public information. So we're updating our website, and we're working on materials that we're going to be able to post out on buses and stops and get out so people know what's coming. Back to this issue with the Social Security Administration stop. So this stop is currently on the We2, which is continually running about 5 to 15 minutes late in the afternoon hours because of this stop. And so we tried at first to tweak the We2 timetable, but there really isn't much time to play with. And so that wasn't really working as a solution. So then we were looking into taking this stop and moving it from the We2 onto the S2, which it used to, it previously was on the S2 before we made some service changes. And this picture to the right, sorry, I'm not presenting anymore. This picture to the right is, so the S2 currently goes in a loop, and this off of Chun's, what's it called? Chun Cove, or LaShawn, help me out.
Yeah, that's Chun's Cove Road.
Chun's Cove Road, okay, is where it would be serving the Social Security Administration. And so the We2 has very high ridership. The S2 is lower ridership. And it would be pretty tight to make it back. The S2 interlines with another route with the W5. So it would be tight adding this route, but we ran the routes and we tested it and we think it would be doable. And so I think staff recommendation is to move the stop to the S2, but we wanted to, again, pause for any feedback, any concerns, any thoughts on this from you all.
And I will add to that, Haley, that we ran into a couple of operators here right after we ran that route, and they were okay with it being moved to S2.
Yeah, the operators all seem to feel more comfortable with it being on the S2 as well. I'll just continue on if you all have any comments after this or during.
You want to add that we're going to do extensive outreach about people out made all around it.
Yeah, so Eunice was just adding, if we make this change to the S2, we're definitely going to heavily market and advertise this so people know that the change is being made and they're not getting on the We2 and then, expecting to go to the Social Security Administration and then missing it. So, all right, so quickly, just next steps where we're at with these preparing for these upcoming changes. We're going to be updating all the maps and the schedules for all the routes. Now that we've tested them, we'll get them ready for posting, for printing. We're going to update our GTFS feed, that's what shows up on things like Google and on our Move It app. So we're working on updating those. And then we're going to continually update the public on these upcoming schedule changes through these various mediums.
So I have a comment about that. When I was trying to show someone where the transit station was on Google Maps, and it didn't come up. It showed Rabbit, and it showed. So I don't know if that's something that we need to add, but.
Yeah, I think it shows up. Probably one of the issues is that we call it different names. Okay. But I can look into that. That's a good point.
Okay. These need to be consistent.
Yeah.
Transit station or transit center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but I'll make sure that it's showing up on Google. See if there's anything we can do so it comes up with multiple names.
Thank you.
And then some other next steps is public outreach. We want to allow for comment for the bus stop consolidations. So we'll be posting that list on our website with contact information, as well as for any stop that we're considering removing, we will post in advance, 30 days in advance, and that will allow for an opportunity to comment as well. And then in preparation for needing more drivers for extended hours, and updated frequency. RATP Dev is continuing ongoing driver recruitment, and we appreciate their efforts. We know it's tough right now. And then finally, we're going to update the interior and exterior bus head signs as needed. So that's, sorry, I feel like that was a lot of information, but that's the update and where we're at. Do you all have any questions or comments about any of that?
I think you covered it all. Thanks for all your hard work, Haley.
Yeah, thank you all. And then, so as part of this, I sent out previously the bus stop consolidation list, and I don't think we need to go through all of this together right now, but if you all, either if you have taken a look at this and if you have any questions or comments about any of these locations that you want to discuss now, we're happy to do that. Otherwise, if you want to take a look at this list and send me any comments, happy to have a conversation about it. So this list, again, it's based on locations that the stops are in very close proximity, and may just be causing the bus to stop more than is really necessary. And so that is what this list is. So did anyone have any comments about
Haley.
those right now?
Yeah. The only one that I didn't see on that change schedule that you had, I didn't see the one. I saw the one coming out of it, but I didn't see the one right down here at the bus stop. It's on Hendersonville Road. Maybe you didn't want to list it, but I didn't see the Caribou Road Hendersonville stop listed on your sheet. You may not wanted to list it, or you didn't have to list it, but I was just wondering about it.
So
stop right here at the fire station.
So this list is for stops that we're considering removing as stops. Are you suggesting that the Hendersonville at Caribou stop are you saying that it's not necessary?
No, I'm just saying it's necessary, but what I'm saying is you probably didn't need to list it. And that was my, I was just looking at that point. I didn't see it, is what I said. So you didn't need to list it, it's what
okay.
I heard.
Yeah, if it's not listed, then that means it's not not being considered. Yeah, it's safe. You're good.
Is there any way I can make a comment?
Sandy the guest? Is she allowed? It's fine with me, but I don't know the protocol. Can Sandy make a comment?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Regarding the bus stops?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, please do.
Something that I want to take into consideration is temporarily disabled or disabled bus riders, because it's hard enough to get to a bus stop already. I have some temporary disabilities. And I get the idea of consolidation. It's a great idea. But you have to make sure that you have prepared for the people that ride the buses that will be affected by some of the removal of the bus stops. And I haven't looked through the whole list or anything yet, but I would just like to keep that in mind for everyone. Because there are 1 in 5 people are disabled some way, somehow. So yeah, I just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah, that's a hugely important piece of this, and thank you for bringing it up. That's something, as we've been out on the streets looking at stops, sometimes there are stops that are very close together, but if there's not a sidewalk that's connecting that people could actually get there, we're not advocating or recommending to remove them because of that reason. But of course, the more eyes on this, the better sometimes. So I'm sure there may be things that we haven't caught. So if you do come across any specific locations, let us know.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anything else?
Great. Thank you, Andy. So next up is an update on operator recruitment efforts. LaShawn, do you want to speak to that?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I just wanted to update. On August 10th, we were in the job fair at the Western North Carolina Agriculture Center for employers that are hiring for $18 and up. I give out about 20 applications and as well as study guides. Right now we are hiring operators in that do not have a CDL, and we are trying to we promoted that at the job fair, passing out CDL study guides. I've received about 3 applicants from that. We are also in with Western North Carolina Works at the Employment Security Commission. We have an ad there. We haven't had any hits in about 2 weeks, and we're also in Citizen Times and Indeed. We have been working to get operators in. We right now have 4 people in training, and Monday I have about 3 people coming in. So I've been working hard trying to get operators in here.
Sounds like it.
This is Brandon. Would you mind emailing me that?
What did you need me to email you, Brandon?
Any of the information that you just took to pass, find out. Get your amazing opportunity.
Brandon, you cut out a little bit. Do you mind repeating that for us?
From what I heard, he was saying it was an amazing opportunity and he needed LaShawn to email him that information. I guess he's going to give it out to other people. I heard him say that much. It was an amazing opportunity.
Okay, Brandon. Yes, I can email that to you.
Thanks, Brandon. Eunice,
Yeah, I was going to mention that in addition to the information that LaShawn shared with the group, we just wanted to, this is also intended as FYI, due to the challenges of recruiting more operators, even though they are putting a lot of effort into that. And so that could potentially impact our ability to implement the service on October 31st. So I do know that they're doing a great job partnering and making sure that they recruit as many operators as needed. But as part of that information, we also wanted to just say that this could potentially lead to some challenges, but just make you guys aware of some of the challenges that we may face. So just a quick FYI.
I'm sure it seems sometimes that we are only pushing these buses uphill. I really appreciate all the work, and LaShawn, I think we all know how hard you work. So thank you so much for all of the efforts and for being creative and taking the time to go to these job fairs.
No problem. Thank you.
So overview of public outreach information.
I think it's been covered.
I feel like it is too.
Yeah. We're working on it, and if you guys, the goal is to share information with you once it's completed. We're revising what we've created so far, and we hope to translate that into Spanish and Russian as well before we display the information. So again, FYI, we're working on it, and it should receive copies. You should receive copies as soon as they are completed.
And I feel like these are good news items. these changes and these opportunities, what are our parameters around like sending a press release to WLOS or getting some, I feel like they could use new news stories, local news stories. Is there a way we could?
We met this morning to strategize on that. And so normally 2 weeks prior to implementing the changes, we will release a press release. Basically, I should say issue a press release highlighting all the changes that are being made. And so that is coming down the pipe. We also may post something on Facebook, Twitter, and all that. And we will also post information on our website. Just as you indicated, good news to let the public know about what we're doing. So it's part of the first set of information to be posted is just to continue getting feedback from the public as to the changes being made. If people have concerns, they should let us know. For instance, Haley discussed changes to the S2 and W2 in terms of switching the Social Security office. So those are some of the things that we do want to share with the public so that they can provide us feedback, comments, and then we can share that, revise whatever information we have and finalize those. So we have a timeline that highlights all the different activities that we are working on. And if the transit committee members want to look at it, we can definitely share that with you in terms of all the various activities we are working on to get to the final date on October 31st.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So moving on, the next order of new business are the new transit committee applications. We've received 2 applications most recently, one from a Miss, I hope I don't slaughter her name, Jean Bador, and Sandy Aldridge. Sandy has joined us today, and I know you did a small introduction, and I certainly don't mean to make you repeat yourself, but if there's anything else you'd like to add or let us know about you, now would be the time to do so.
Okay, my name is Sandy Aldridge. I'm currently getting ready to go back to AB Tech fall semester. I'm in the health and fitness program at AB Tech to obtain an associate of science degree and also to become a personal trainer. I'm a music person. I sing very well, I'm told. And I am passionate about my community because we are very special people here in Asheville. And I really love being an advocate. And especially with the very diverse group of people that ride the buses in Asheville. They need advocates because of I can't even go through all the diversity right now, but very special people that ride the buses, including city employees, AB Tech students, people that work at Mission Hospital with the restaurants and everything like that, who can't come to the meetings and who appreciate someone standing in and sharing their likes, their dislikes in general. So I'm very glad to be in attendance today, and I look forward to serving on the transit committee.
Well, thanks again for applying, and thank you for being here today. I did have an opportunity to reach out to Jean by phone. We had a nice conversation yesterday. Her main interest seemed to be, and I certainly don't want to speak for her, but her main interest seemed to be sidewalks and greenways. And so we discussed multimodal transportation committee versus serving on transit committee. And we have plans to loose plans to meet for coffee and just kind of discuss more of those so that she's in a place where she feels she's doing her best service as a community advocate. And I'll just leave that at that. So we will certainly keep you. Yes, Kim.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to let everyone know that there is an opening on the Multimodal Transportation Commission to join John in being a liaison between the Multimodal and the Transit Committee. That opening is available. You can get the application through staff. It would require to attend 2 meetings, but we do have that opening for a transit focused representative on multimodal, and I just wanted to make sure everyone here knew that.
Thank you so much. And again, the more we work together, the more work we can get done. So thank you. John, I just want to quickly acknowledge your attendance here. Thank you so much, John Hahn, for being here today. Appreciate you. Give us a thumbs up if you can.
Yeah, thank you. I was on the bus. I'm actually in between going to places today. I've got some meetings and stuff, medical stuff, but I'm okay. I'm here.
John, thank you.
Happy I got here in time for the meeting.
Well, we appreciate you showing up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So next on the agenda is a continued discussion of a proposed retreat. I am thrilled with this opportunity and the idea of having a retreat. There's been some discussion about when to do this and to wait for new members so that everyone gets onboarded. And so if anyone has any ideas about when this could or should happen, of course, keeping in mind that city staff would be involved as well, and we'd have to be sensitive to their schedules. Harvey.
I don't mean to backtrack, but Kim, I need to ask you a question. Going back to the Transit Committee applications, Sandy has her application in. Do we need to vote her in today so we can send it to Multimodal so Multimodal can say yes or no for her to join the committee? Do we have to do that?
Excellent
today?
point. Excellent point. So the Transit Committee is currently seated by the Multimodal Transportation Commission, not by City Council. So you are correct in that if you would like to make your recommendation to the Multimodal regarding the applications that you have, that the Multimodal would likely appreciate having a recommendation. It is not required, but that is how the process would go if you would like for your opinion to be heard by the Multimodal Transportation Commission at their next meeting.
So we need to bring about nominating Sandy for a position on the Transit Committee, right?
The process is that someone from the Transit Committee would make a motion, and if it was seconded and then voted on, then that formal recommendation would go to the Multimodal.
I make the motion that Sandy be appointed to the Transit Committee.
I second that.
Thank you.
I love it. Let's take a vote. And Harvey, thanks for bringing this up. Harvey Harold.
Aye.
John Bissoni.
Aye.
John Hahn.
Yes, I second it.
Do you also vote in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye. Brandon Oliver, are you still with us? I think even without Brandon's vote.
I believe Brandon left.
Okay, I think without his vote, we still have enough.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Sandy, you are officially nominated. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
This
appreciate
will
you.
go to the Multimodal.
Thank you, Harvey.
And this will go to the Multimodal, and then they'll vote you in.
And when does
Okay,
Multimodal
thank
meet
you so
again?
much.
When is that next Multimodal?
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday. It's in my calendar.
It should be next Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't mean to disturb y'all flow.
Thank you, Harvey.
I love it when you show me up, and I don't understand why we don't trade places. So we'll talk more about that later. Thank you so much. So transit committee, discussion of the retreat. Does anyone have any ideas or best times of year for this retreat? Or maybe that's something that we could include on the survey of best times to meet in general. Harvey.
I don't think that's an issue that we need to discuss now because of retreat. We have to, it's just like we're getting together, getting a chance to know each other. We're discussing things that necessarily have to do with the city transit system and all that, but we're too far apart right now, and maybe things will work out within a month or so. We have to take that on a day-to-day basis, but trying to do a retreat virtually, I don't think we could get anything. We could get some things done, but it's just getting to know each other to work better. That's what a retreat to me is. So it's up to y'all whether y'all want to discuss it or not, but I don't think we are at that point right now. Maybe a month from now, maybe 2 months from now, but we can do it then.
Fair enough, and I apologize for leaving this out. There was some discussion that this would occur, that the best time for city staff would be November. So, of course, now that we're back to meeting virtually again, the plan at the time, considering the November date, was that we were supposed to meet in person starting this month. But, of course, we've backtracked. So, Harvey, that's a great point. So perhaps we just table this if everyone's comfortable waiting until we have a more solid team and we know that we can meet.
Fine with me.
Safely. Okay. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. So departmental updates from city staff, the monthly transit update memo, please. Oh, Harvey, go ahead.
I have one other thing for new business on this day.
Okay.
This past week, the Citizens Advisory Committee, we went out in the public and we were on the greenways. And Tuesday of this past week, in the morning and in the afternoon, we had three different shifts in the morning and afternoon, and we went through here passing out surveys about the greenways. And they did that Tuesday, and I went on one on Saturday. It was very nice, and got a chance to meet some nice people that are helping work with the Greenway committee, and people I hadn't seen in a while. Got a chance to see some of them again, and I was at the UNC Botanical Gardens, and it's just beautiful. I had never been there, but it is lovely. It's lovely. And that's the purpose of the greenways, is to go out, use them, and bike riding, walking, running, excellent exercise. Go out there and sit with your family at a picnic table or whatever, but it gets you out of the house.
Best access to this document, but it's an old one, I think. Oh wait, never mind. That way acceptable.
What is that? Anyway, we filled out a lot of applications, and like I said, it was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it, and being involved in the Citizen Advisory Committee. We're closing the gap, and thank you for your time.
And it's my understanding that there are some more meetings about this closing the gap. Is that true? Do you know?
We will have thousands more meetings over years to come. Yes, we're still getting everything together, and that doing the surveys was asking people about how do they like it, what would they like for to be changed, things like how much money do you spend while you on the greenway. Some people, they stop and they get ice cream, it's a family thing. You know, you get ice cream. We want to know whether you spent money to do it. Some people just go on the walk and then they'll stop and get coffee. We asked them questions like that. You know, it was very, very good. You just had to be there to enjoy it. And yeah, like I say, Greenways, they're great. They're great. I'm glad I went Saturday. I'm with the committee, and I said, this is my work, and I'm looking at the fruits of my labor. Thank you again.
Thank you, Harvey.
Huh?
Any other new business? Okay, we'll move on to from city staff.
So, in reviewing the memo shared with TC members, a number of the updates have already been provided. Would you like me to go over everything as well? Just wanted to ask before because the memo provides an update on October 2021 service changes, the digital signage project. The only thing there is vehicle procurement. And we continue to work with one of the manufacturers to ensure that we get the buses that we ordered delivered by spring of 2022. And we also provided a quick update on COVID-19. We continue to provide masks for use on the buses and also in the customer service office. And also continue to monitor what's the federal, state, and local government have been saying to ensure that it does not impact capacity on the buses. So those are some of the new items in the memo, and I just wanted to share them out. Do you want me to go over everything, Michelle? Okay.
Rochelle, you're muted.
Sorry. No,
Yeah.
I think that you've covered it, and I appreciate you being so thorough and clear with us. John, I saw your hand raised. Do you have John Hahn?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm sitting on a bus. I am trying to get a hold of the document to try to get committee to commission for transit. I'm trying to find out what pathway I need to get to go find it. I asked Thomas Ludwig for it back from him. That would be nice to give to the committee so we can rewrite it, so we can present it to the commission.
Councilwoman Roney, did you hear that, and can you speak to that a little?
Regarding the elevation to a full commission. Sorry, can you
John,
repeat the question?
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm asking because we said we will try to do that again. But I need a copy of that original letter. I can't find it in my stuff. So
Okay. We can send. We can certainly circulate the original ask to the transit committee. Right now, we are looking for the Transit Commission's original resolution, which was removed from the Muni Code online because the Transit Commission was no longer a commission. So once we have that, then we will have a draft that we can circulate as well. That would reinstate the Transit Committee to a commission.
Okay,
the next process is in that.
Where would that document reside?
The letter may reside in the minutes attached from previous meetings of the Transit Committee, but I can dig that up and circulate it for the Transit Committee directly.
Thank you, Councilman.
Are there any other comments or questions about that issue? Okay, we'll move on to operations updates by art staff.
So all of the memos for on-time performance for July and ridership reports are all there. Were there any questions within those reports that are attached?
Could you just tell me what PMs mean?
Those are the hold on, I know this. This is for the maintenance.
Yeah,
It's for maintenance, the
preventive maintenance.
preventive.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
Right?
It's been a long day. I'm sorry.
Sometimes.
Oh man. Yeah, all good. So does anyone have any questions for LaShawn about any of the memos attached? LaShawn, thank you. I don't know how you get it all done because between just the work and the memos and the things, I wonder if you ever sleep.
Barely.
I'm sure. So thank you so much for that. Other business, is there anything else you want to discuss or anything pressing today? Okay. What about rider experience? Have there been any noteworthy rider experiences that anyone want to share? Harvey, you're always good for one.
Oh, I got a million of them.
Yeah, you do.
I love my transit.
Tell us.
The best one I got is I went up to the transit and the bathrooms, they were I just love it. You know, I'm getting so I just love to go in there and look at the bathroom. It's nice and clean and it's quite a change. And like I said, you know, I finally got a chance to see the murals on the wall up the transit station. I said, I've been in here before, but I never saw the mural on the left side of the wall. I stood there and looked at that for about 3-4 minutes. I said, nah, that's all right. I said, it's pretty. I said, I love that. Yeah, I love that. And, you know, it was really nice. And I said, you know, it was nice and clean inside and everything it was going good. And except for the signage not seen by me, everything was good inside the bus. I had one incident. I just ordinarily I wouldn't bring it up because I'm quite sure it's already been solved. But I got kicked off the bus and I didn't know why. And I done took the bus trip out there to Goodwill too many times, and I got booted off the bus. So I didn't start no jump. So I just waited till I got home, and then I just politely called LaShawn, and supposedly she took care of it. But when she found out I got booted off the bus, she didn't like that too much neither. But everybody else booted off the bus too. And if she wants to discuss that, she can too. But you know, I let it go. I let it ride.
More like you didn't let it ride. You got off the bus. Oh no.
Oh, I could see you. You coming up with a good one on this, LaShawn. You know.
I wouldn't have been as nice as Harvey.
So yeah, he did call me, and so the operator at the time thought that so we weren't doing round trips before, and they were letting people off at the end of the line, or where they couldn't ride back around. It wasn't supposed to be at the end of the line. It wasn't. They were not able to get back on where they get off where they got on. And so when they got to the Goodwill, this operator let everybody off the bus.
He put everybody off.
He put them all off, but he put them all off at the Goodwill, and they had to walk to the bus stop. So everybody got back on the same bus. And I thought that was really weird. Like, so yeah, that's been took care of. So
yeah, because I can see myself out there bitter cold, and he puts me out, or I can see myself in the rain and he puts me out way over here and I got to walk all the way over there to the bus stop. So I said, well, I'll let this Sean handle that. So that's the way it went. And that's enough for me today.
Okay. Well, LaShawn, I hope you will share the message. Miss Peggy, she's the one keeping it clean down at Transit, and man, she works hard. So,
I will let you know. Thank
little
you.
shout out to Miss Peggy would be great. Thank you so much. Gosh, is there anything else y'all want to mention, or Councilwoman Roney, do you have some?
Well, if there's a moment, I would just say that it has been a pleasure to see some of you on the bus. I did see Harvey recently, and also Sandy, who is attending today. And I see Rochelle posting about the state of the bus. And so it's just, I'm so thankful that each one of you is willing to take the time and energy to advise. And I know that it takes a lot of time to get where you're going on the bus. So thank you for taking this time too.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, you're a good advocate, and I personally am very excited to work with you. I just want to make a little side note. I have a little fangirl crush on Pete Buttigieg right now, and I like to pretend that we are transit peers, and that pretty soon we're going to be, you know, sharing a beer and trying to figure, well, not sharing a beer, but, you know, sharing time and conversation over a beer. How about how we can make transit better? So I listened to an amazing podcast, the Freakonomics podcast, that he, anyway, talked about buses and just what a great idea they are. And I know that when I bring up buses, gosh, people that don't even ride the bus are really quick to say, light rail, we need light rail. And there was a really great argument, and he gave me some great words around advocating for better buses before new infrastructure. So I just want to share that. If we have any other podcast nerds, maybe check out the Pete Buttigieg Freakonomics. And I also echo and share Councilwoman Roney's just absolute pleasure to be a part of this team and to see new faces and the same faces. And I feel good about the direction we're headed. And yeah, so thank you so much. That said, let's all try to get the word out. If anyone would like to help me and maybe meet me at Transit with some of these flyers, advocating for and asking for folks to step up and serve on this committee, and want to also help me get them to Ingalls, I welcome that. Harvey, it sounds like you're a man about town, and I'd love to meet you at Transit one day and see what we could get done together.
Sounds like a winner.
I like it. I'll even walk that greenway with you and maybe buy you an ice cream.
And I'm going to get Sandy in there too.
I'm saying, let's do it. Okay. Thank you so much for all your time. The next meeting will be September 21st, 2021. And also the next boards and commissions meeting, I think, is important to note. Councilwoman Roney, can you remind us about the
Sure.
date?
It's August 24th, next Tuesday at 10 a.m.
So that's next Tuesday at 10 a.m. So if you have some words of encouragement or want to add your public comment to the efforts of getting this committee to be a full-on commission, I think that would be a good opportunity to do so.
And I'd have committed to, by tomorrow morning, to send you the letter to the full Transit Commission regarding the request to be recognized as a commission.
Thank you very much.
What date was that you said y'all meet, Kim?
Tuesday, August 24th at 10 a.m.
And that's a virtual meeting as well. So do we need to get invited to, I guess just through public comment, and then we could just watch it.
I can add information in the email on how you can reach out to the boards and commission members, if that's helpful, and how to watch or attend the meeting.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you feel that gap closing, Harvey? I feel it. Do you feel it?
No. Do your job, girl.
I think
Buddy. Okay. Everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and this meeting's now adjourned.
See?